If you guys were born in the 80s or 90s, have played Final Fantasy to any degree, and have owned a PS1, you've heard of this. This was a weird Final Fantasy fighting game called Ehrgeiz. Okay, to be fair, had really nothing to do at its core with Final Fantasy. In fact, the one-player mode was a very weird oddity that didn't really play like any sort of Final Fantasy game and really was just a dungeon crawler. But this had a roster of Final Fantasy characters. Well, Final Fantasy VII characters. There were no other characters from any other Final Fantasy game. Mostly probably because FF7 was the only one with any sort of character models that might fit. They had other character models from 1 through 6, but they were mostly pixel art and would have to make everything from the ground up, etc. But this is Ehrgeiz, and this has a Vincent figure inside. If you guys don't know, this is the Millennium Collection, in which a bunch of games came in this kind of layout with extra bonuses and stuff inside. And this will of course have the limited edition case, because you'll never find Ehrgeiz in that type of case. It'll always look like the regular game case. So we have Ehrgeiz here without any sort of art whatsoever. Just the... Wow, this thing is freaking mint! This thing is untouched. I don't see a single scratch on this thing. That's crazy, man. This thing was very expensive to get, by the way. This was near $100 just to buy into this thing for this video. So we have a instruction manual, typically called Setsumeisho, and this might be the manual. This thing is freaking like brand new, man. Seriously. This is crazy. Okay, I'm not going to touch that too much, actually. I'm going to only briefly fan it. Yeah, that's flat. Look at that. That lays flat. And technically... might be able to put... I'm not going to, because actually this is a screen, but you could put it in there. You could slide it in the jewel case. I'm not going to be doing that. Not going to mess with it. I didn't know it was this new. It did not state that on the actual unit itself. On the stickers, here are the Vincent characters. So let's open this up. It's funny to me that on a game that isn't technically even a Final Fantasy game, or even like a Final Fantasy fighting game with like Dissidia that has just FF characters, it's funny to me that the box, the game itself has Cloud and Sephiroth on it. The only thing you get in here is a limited edition figure of a character that wasn't technically even in Final Fantasy VII as a base requirement for playing the game. He's an optional character. Not only that, they go far enough as to give you a Turk's uniform of his, which most people don't even have any idea what that means, what that's for. And you wouldn't even know that unless you've discovered the outside extended universe lore of FF7, like BC and CC, Before Crisis, Crisis Core, etc., Dirge Cerberus, etc. You wouldn't even know that. They've centered this thing completely around literally just FF7. Nothing else. In fact, I think at the back of the manual, there you go, you apologetically get one singular character from Ehrgeiz exclusive on the back, whereas 98% of everything else is FF7. It's pretty funny to me. I'm not complaining. This is awesome, this diorama set. I'm not gonna open it. I had no idea this game was this mint. Everything is completely flat. The art is flat. The jewel case is scratch free. It seems to be complete. This thing doesn't even have any fingerprints on it. I'm not going to open it. But this is Ehrgeiz for PS1 collection box. That's it.